Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, on Saturday they had the last GOP debate before the New Hampshire primary, which is taking place right as we speak. And it's quite interesting. The beginning of it was just absolutely horrible. They introduced the candidates, and I guess the acoustics or something was really bad in there. And, I mean, they announced Ben Carson. Ben Carson didn't hear his name, so he stayed behind the curtain. Ted Cruz ended up lamping Carson because Cruz heard his name. Carson didn't. So Donald Trump came in behind Cruz, I believe, or it was behind Jeb Bush. And I don't know who. It was Ted Cruz lapped Carson. And then Donald Trump came out right behind Cruz. And because Ben Carson didn't leave, Donald Trump, I guess, didn't hear his name called either, or was waiting for Ben Carson to go first. He wasn't going to lap him. And then I guess what happened is that Jeb Bush just didn't know what to do, so he ended up lapping the both of them, Donald Trump and Ben Carson as well, and John Kasich. Kasich just stayed behind at the very end of the curtain, and it took him forever to call Ben Carson out and call Donald Trump out. And then eventually, when they got all the candidates out there, they forgot about John Kasich, and Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey, said, "I'll introduce Kasich." You want me to do it? And then they ended up introducing Kasich, the governor from Ohio. And, so that's what happened in the introduction there. Just horrible introduction. But anyway, we're going to go to the most talked about moment of the night, and it was between Jeb Bush and Donald Trump. Jeb Bush tried to make Donald Trump look bad by saying, well, you know, he's in support of this eminent domain. Can't have eminent domain, got to do away with eminent domain. And Donald Trump responded, well, you know, without eminent domain, you can't have the Keystone Pipeline. You can't build any additional roads or anything like that. So that's what the debate took place here, or what was, that didn't make sense. That's what was said in the debate segment here, so we're going to go ahead and play it for you. Go ahead.
What Donald Trump did was use eminent domain to try to take the property of an elderly woman on the Strip in Atlantic City. That is not public purpose. That is downright wrong.
And we're going to stop right here real quick. I want to explain something to you what happened, all right? So Donald Trump ended up getting into this negotiation with this lady who owned property, and Donald Trump wanted to build a parking lot. Well, Donald Trump was going to give her a lot of money for her property and give her this beautiful, huge home in Florida. And the lady didn't want it. Donald Trump wanted to expand his complex or whatever. So that was a debacle. The lady ended up keeping her property. He didn't take it from her. Didn't continue it. So that's what happened there. But, of course, that's what all the other candidates are trying to exploit against Trump. So continue playing it.
Hey, here's the problem with that. The problem was it was to tear down. It was to
Jeb
tear
wants
down.
He wants to be a tough guy. He wants to be a tough guy
It was
tonight.
to tear down
I didn't
the
take
house,
the property.
and the net result was you tried.
I didn't
and
take
you
the
lost
property.
in the court.
The woman ultimately didn't want to do that.
That is not true. And the simple fact is, to turn this into a limousine parking lot for his casinos is not a public use. And in Florida, based on what we did, we made that impossible. It is part of our Constitution. That's the better approach. That is the conservative approach.
Mr. Trump, take 30 seconds.
Let me just, he wants to be a tough guy. A lot of times, you'll have, and it doesn't work very well with
How tough is it to take property from an elderly woman?
Let me talk. Quiet.
So Donald Trump just hushed Jeb Bush, did quiet, and Jeb Bush was interrupting him, so that was called for by Trump. Oh, that was good. But anyway, so that was the most talked about moment of the night. But hear Trump's explanation, because it's very interesting.
A lot of times.
Yeah, he got a lot of booze out of that, and listen to what he says about the crowd.
That's all of his donors and special interests. So, that's what it is.
So there you go, more booze.
And by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets for I'm talking about to the television audience? Donors, special interest, the people that are putting up the money. So it is. The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason loving me is I don't want their money. I'm going to do the right thing for the American public. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. And I'm the only one up here that can say that. Eminent domain, the Keystone Pipeline, do you consider that a private job?
I consider it a public use.
No, let me ask you, Jeb. Do you consider the Keystone Pipeline private? Is it public or private?
It's a public use.
Oh, really? A public use? No, it's a private job.
It's a public use.
It's a private job.
Established by the courts, federal, state
You
courts.
wouldn't have the Keystone Pipeline that you want so badly without eminent domain.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have massive, excuse me, Josh, you wouldn't have massive factories without eminent domain.
Gentlemen, we do have to move forward.
So, yeah, that was from ABC News. So that was Donald Trump and what took place there. I think he held his own there. That was pretty good. But another segment that I have for you was between Marco Rubio and Governor Chris Christie. And they really went at it. Marco Rubio was just being very, very redundant, was basically going by a script that he memorized in his head before the debate. And Chris Christie, in so many words, called him out on it and really made Marco Rubio look bad. Go ahead and listen to this.
And let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. But I would add this. Let's dispel with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Facts. Here's the bottom line. This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not true.
There it is.
He knows exactly
what he's
what
the memorized 25-second speech.
Well, that's the reason why this campaign is so important.
To the Gang of Eight bill first.
Well, here's the response. I think anyone who believes that Barack Obama isn't doing what he's doing on purpose doesn't understand what we're dealing with here. Okay? This is a president who's trying to change this country.
So Marco Rubio was booed because 4 times he said the same exact thing. The same exact thing. Anyone who doesn't believe that President Obama doesn't know what he's doing is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right? He kept saying they weren't booing because they disagreed. They were booing because he was being redundant, and that was just a horrible, horrible thing. He said it 4 times, the same memorized phrase. President Obama knows what he's doing, okay? Now, here's the thing. I agree with Marco Rubio on this. I believe that President Obama does know very well what he is doing. I think that he is, he said when he was running for president that he wants to fundamentally transform the United States of America. Well, guys, what is fundamentally transforming something mean? It means that you want to change the foundation. What is the foundation for the United States? It's the Constitution, correct? That's what I'd say. The Constitution. The Constitution is what this nation was built upon. The Constitution is the foundation of the United States of America. So, President Obama really has transformed the way that we view the Constitution. He has, while he hasn't transformed the wording in the Constitution, he has contributed to the transformation of the interpretation of the Constitution. So, I mean, guys, Marco Rubio was right in a sense that that President Obama does know what he's doing. I agree with him on that. But as for just being absolutely redundant in the entire thing, it really was just uncalled for. And you can't have that in a presidential candidate. Because, I mean, and going back to it, like I said, President Obama knows what he's doing. He's been doing this forever. I mean, Obamacare was deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, it was deemed constitutional by the Supreme Court. Bans on same-sex marriage, a state ban on same-sex marriage, is deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. And you can't say that President Obama did not have any influence here because it was Obama who appointed Justice Sotomayor. He appointed Justice Elena Kagan. So, I mean, yeah, President Obama has contributed to how the Constitution is interpreted by basically nominating activist judges onto the court system. That's 2 justices President Obama nominated and ended up getting it, Sotomayor and Elena Kagan. So, I mean, guys, Obama is accomplishing everything that he set out to do. He got his signature health care law passed. That's all hunky-dory now. He was able to pass his ridiculous stimulus packages that ended up costing the United States billions and billions of dollars. I mean, this guy is setting out. He knows what he's doing. He has an agenda. He's following his agenda. So, yes, he does know what he's doing, and he's successfully transforming this nation into his image, into the image that he wanted to see this nation become. So, yeah, Marco Rubio is right. Marco Rubio is right that President Obama does know very well what he's doing. But when you say it 4 times in your little speech, in your little debate, that's redundant. People don't like that. And Marco Rubio really just sounds like he is this machine. And that's the way that I've always viewed Marco Rubio as. It appears that now all of a sudden the mainstream media is starting to pick up on it. Yeah, this is Marco Rubio really little 25 minutes or 25-second speech that Chris Christie pointed out really did hurt Marco Rubio. And it is right on that. I mean, and by the way, just wanted to tell you, Chris Christie's really gloating about it, saying that he took out Marco Rubio, that the establishment is going to think twice before anointing Rubio's head with their oil, making him the GOP establishment nominee. So, yeah, that's what happened there. I want to move on here. Let's see how much time I have left here, because I want to cover this. Okay, yeah, I've got time. So I want to just tell you something that is going on with the Cruz campaign right now, because Cruz, he didn't do a bad job in the debate, but I'm disappointed in Cruz. Because there's this rumor that is being spread that CNN started the Carson dropout thing. The Daily Wire, my friend Ben Shapiro, good friend Ben Shapiro, reported this over there. And another thing, and I disagree with Ben Shapiro on this, Mark Levin, really great radio host, love the guy, but he's also falling for this. And they're saying that Ted Cruz, he didn't know anything about this lie that was being spread about Ben Carson. As a matter of fact, the Cruz campaign wasn't responsible for this lie about Ben Carson dropping out before Iowa, just like 3 days or a few days or a few hours before Iowa caucus. They're saying that the Cruz campaign didn't know anything about that. They're just going by what CNN reported. And CNN, here's the thing, CNN did not report that Ben Carson was suspending his campaign. They reported that he was going home to Florida to get an exchange of clothes, and rather than going directly to New Hampshire, he was going to make a stop in Florida. All right, that's what CNN reported. Well, the Cruz campaign ended up translating that and turned it into this thing where I guess Ben Carson is dropping out. And this was like right before the Iowa caucus, and it's really just absolutely pathetic that they would do this, because, I mean, who in their right mind, I mean, be serious about this, guys, who in their right mind would think that one of their opponents would seriously be dropping out right before they take a vote in Iowa? No one in their right mind would think that. And there's really just some damaging voicemails that have just been released that we're going to get to after the break. But it really reveals the deception that has taken place in the Cruz campaign. And I have warned you guys, I've said this on the show before, if Ted Cruz fails, it will be because of his brainless campaign staff, because they are the biggest dope heads that I've ever seen. They are horrible. They will do anything to win. They are dishonest. And for Cruz running as the good old Christian candidate, it really is not good when you make deception and lying a part of your campaign. And I say this as a Christian evangelical myself. So, I mean, guys, really this entire thing, and I'm not done with Trump because I've got some bones to pick with him too, because he really disappointed me twice. So, anyway, this was really just absolutely horrible, though, when you're spreading lies about a candidate. I don't care if it is politics. You don't spread lies about your opponent. You base your campaign upon the truth, and that's what you run on. You run a truthful campaign. That's how I believe, all right? You don't run a campaign on negativity or positivity. You run your campaign on truth. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
J.P. Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So we were talking about Monsieur Cruz. And there were some audio bits released of his campaign staff calling various Cruz volunteers, calling various people, and telling these people that Ben Carson was dropping out before Iowa. He's dropping out. So tell all the Ben Carson supporters to go out and caucus for Ted Cruz, not Ben Carson. And it was really just a huge lie, and it's absolutely disgusting. The Cruz campaign knew what they were doing, and these audio bits prove it. Now go ahead and listen to this. This is from the Cruz campaign. These are voicemails of the Cruz campaigns released to the various Iowa precincts. Go ahead and play it. Do not waste their vote on Ben Carson and vote for Ted Cruz. He is taking a leave of absence from his campaign. All right? Thank you. Bye. That right there proved that Ted Cruz's campaign is nothing but a bunch of liars. That's exactly what it proved. I'm saying it the way it is, guys. And Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, I love you both. Do your research here. Because they just said that he's taking a leave of absence from his campaign. Didn't say that he was suspending his campaign. Said it was a leave of absence. He's going back to Florida temporarily and then going to be going up to New Hampshire. So this lie that they've been spreading about Ben Carson is absolutely disgusting, and I am ashamed of Ted Cruz's campaign for that. And I am ashamed that Ted Cruz would be supporting his campaign staff's deception. Admit you're wrong. The truth shall set you free. Is that not what the Bible says? Also says some strong words about liars, too, but we won't get into that. And this isn't the only voicemail. We have a second voicemail here. Listen to this one. This is from another Iowa precinct. Ben Carson will be suspending his campaign following tonight's caucuses. That's what the voicemail said. Keep playing it. Please inform any Carson caucus goers of this information. Inform them of this information and tell them to caucus for Ted instead. Thank you and good night. Yeah. That's the audio bits that were from the Cruz campaign staff. That's the voicemails. Now, isn't that disgusting? And the first one's really telling because they say he's taking a leave of absence from his campaign. Well, when you're taking a leave of absence, what does that mean? It means it's temporary. It doesn't mean it's permanent. Suspension is permanent. So right there, the Ted Cruz campaign came to their own conclusion that right after the Iowa caucus, Ben Carson was dropping out. I mean, guys, I'm so sick and tired of this. It's so disgusting. But that's what the Cruz campaign did. So really, I mean, and I'm disappointed in Ted Cruz. But I told you, if Ted Cruz, I said this, if Ted Cruz ends up failing, it's because of his staff. I said this weeks ago. Go ahead and listen to it yourself if you want to check me, if you want to fact check it. It's what I said. Ted Cruz's staff will be the downfall of his campaign. But anyway, moving on here. Donald Trump is really not all that innocent himself. He recently did two things, and I'm not going to get into detail on the specifics of what he said. But, well, actually, I sort of am, but I'm not going to say the words. He recently has used two swear words that is really just absolutely vulgar and absolutely disgusting. Donald Trump, when he was in New Hampshire, used the F word. And he was talking about various businesses that were exiting New Hampshire, and he said that he wants to bring those businesses back to New Hampshire, and then the people who live there in that state can tell those businesses to go and use the F word to them, well, to something that's not physically possible, put it that way. Okay? So that's what Donald Trump said. Really, I'm disappointed in Trump over that, and a lot of other Christian evangelical conservatives are as well. I know a lot of people who have been writing to me here at the Caiden Cowger program and telling me, Caiden, you know, I really just don't think that I can support Donald Trump after this. We do not need a swearer in chief. We need someone who is professional, who is able to conduct themselves with decency and dignity. And when you don't have the decency not to cuss in front of 4-year-olds that are attending your campaign rallies, it's really just disgusting. And just a few days ago, he just said, actually, I think it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. He used the vulgar word for a female private area, referring to Ted Cruz. One of the audience members called Ted Cruz that, and then Donald Trump said, "Did you hear what she said? She said that he was a..." Then use that word. So really, it's just disappointing to hear Ted Cruz to hear Donald Trump. Well, if Ted Cruz is going to lie about Carson, I might as well lie about him. No, I take that back. It's really disappointing for me to hear Donald Trump saying that because, I mean, what does the Bible say? Seriously, what does the Bible say when it comes to language? Because I know a lot of people who just don't follow this, but it's right there in the good book. It says right there in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29, that we are not to use any corrupt communication. The exact quote is, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth." Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. You're not to cuss. You're not to swear. You're definitely not supposed to use the F-bomb. You don't cuss. But that's what Donald Trump has become. He keeps swearing in every speech. He is using a cuss word, and it's really just absolutely inappropriate. I don't care how emotional you get. I don't care how heated you get. You do not cuss. That is inappropriate, and that is not professional in a president or anyone for that matter. I knew a politician that I was really good friends with that used that word, and I'm still good friends with him. Still like him. He's a great guy, but he uses that word quite a bit. But while he uses that word when he's like talking to me and talking to various other people, at least he has a decency not to say it publicly. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there are a lot of other politicians out there that are running, I'm sure, like Jeb Bush and various other, and I'm not saying that this is with 100% certainty, but I'm sure that there are several other Republican politicians that use the same gutter language on a private level. But, you know, while I disagree with it on a private level and on a public level, you just do not use language like that. That is unbecoming, and it's not being a good witness, especially when you claim to be a Christian. You just don't do that. And I don't care if it's, like I said, I don't care if it's on a public level or private level. Let me make an argument against cussing, okay? Number one, expand your vocabulary if you have to resort to using cuss words. But another thing that I want to just point out there, if a 3-year-old says a curse word, says the F-bomb, says anything like that, if you're an adult and you would take strong offense to that, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Don't use it yourself. Because if it's bad for a 4-year-old, or if it's bad for a 3-year-old, or if it's bad for a younger kid, it's still bad for you, all right? A bad word is still a bad word, regardless of what age you turn. So, I mean, guys, it's really just, it's interesting to see the hypocrisy on that level, but still, it's unbecoming of Trump to do that. And, you know, while I like Trump, I've also said I like Ted Cruz. It's really, I'm having a hard time supporting either one when they're doing stuff like that. It's really just, both of them just need to grow up, okay? That's what needs to happen, because there's no one else to support. I'm disappointed, because both of the top candidates that I've really gotten behind are, in so many words, letting me down, because they are resulting to vulgarity, they're resulting to lying, which, you know, I don't know. I'm just really just disgusted with it all. I'm tired of politicians acting like that. Anyway, guys, we'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
I guess there's lots of ways to look at things that don't seem right.
No Worries has just been released on iTunes and Amazon.
It's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. F-R-A-N-Z black.com.
It's gonna be alright.
Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. 9762. Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. So, according to what we have here, Trump stated that he is beating Hillary handily and that he has created a movement. Actually, his exact quote was, "We've created a movement," referring to his supporters as well, so didn't take all the credit there. But really, it's just, I think he is right. I think he's awakening a lot of people. And I think a lot of people are going to be pulling for him, regardless of what language he uses, unfortunately for that. But anyway, moving on, speaking of twisting the scriptures here to suit your own personal needs, we have Madeleine Albright that announced her support for Hillary Clinton. Surprise, surprise. The one woman that actually worked with Bill Clinton that still talks to him. But anyway, 64th United States Secretary of State is her former position, worked under Bill Clinton. And she decided to pull for Hillary Clinton on February 6th. And we have the audio bit of her little speech there. And I want you to hear what she said about women supporting Clinton. It's really funny.
We can tell our story about how we climbed the ladder, and a lot of you younger women don't think you have to. It's been done. It's not done, and you have to help. Hillary Clinton will always be there for you, and just remember, there's a special place in hell for women who don't help each other.
Ha 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 ha! I must have missed that part of the Bible. I tell you guys, Democrats really just, I don't know. What's that? What do you say to that? She's a feminist, I guess. What's that one song? I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar, or something like that. It was a big song. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's enough of that. That was by Helen Reddy. I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. The song of the independent woman. Oh, okay, whatever. I tell you, and women out there that listen to this show, I've got to just say something. It's really, it must be very insulting for you guys, or should I say you girls out there, because basically they think that you are in gratitude to the Democratic Party because their possible front-runner, their possible nominee is a woman. So because you're a woman, you've got to vote for another woman. How sexist is that? I mean, really. I mean, you guys out there, keep saying guys, you girls out there must really take offense to that. Probably more so than me just calling you guys twice. So that's, sorry about that, girls. Girls, whatever. I don't know. I forgot. What difference does it make anymore with bathroom bills being implemented? Who cares? California, my listeners out there, you guys, I don't even think genders exist out there anymore, so it really doesn't matter at all. Yeah, so anyway. What else do we have going on here? So we had the Hillary Clinton thing. Yeah. Here's another thing. Speaking of the women issue. Ted Cruz stated that drafting women is nuts, according to Breitbart News by Michelle Fields. In New Hampshire, Republican presidential candidate Senator Ted Cruz, they said senator twice, that needs to be fixed. Senator Ted Cruz said Sunday that it is nuts to make women register for a possible future military draft. Cruz responded to his rival, Senator Marco Rubio, Republican from Florida, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, and Governor Chris Christie, who all said Saturday evening that the presidential debate that they would support a federal requirement for women to register alongside young men for selective service. Once registered, they could be drafted during a national emergency. It was striking that 3 different people on the stage came out in support of drafting women into combat in the military, Cruz said. I didn't have an opportunity to respond to that particular question, but I have to admit that I was sitting there just listening, actually standing there, just listening to that conversation, and his reaction was, "Are you guys nuts?" And, I'm going to agree with Cruz on that, because I'm just going to tell you, I mean, while you've got to support women's equality and everything, and, we already have the Equal Pay Act that was already passed a long time ago. So it's really, the battle is sort of done. But anyway, I'm a guy that believes in chivalry, all right? I believe that men should take care of women and women take care of men. I mean, vice versa. But when it comes to military service, I don't think that serving on the front lines is the place for a woman. And I've had a lot of girls that have agreed with me on that. So it's not a sexist thing. It's just, in many cases, they're built differently. And see, here's the thing. There's a program, I forget what, I think it's Black Ops or something like that. I forget what it is. But it's a specific set or the specific group of soldiers. And there have been some women who have tried to get on this team, military team, and they haven't been able to do it because their bodies are not designed like the men are. They have to carry these extremely heavy packs, and the women just have not been able to run the distance because of their hip structure. So it's been very difficult for them. Well, they've been talking about rearranging this program and making it so it's not as difficult, just to accommodate women. Now, that's sexist. If you're going to have to accommodate a program to make it so women are able to join because it requires too much energy from them, then you're basically saying that, yeah, it's a fact, women are not built the same way as men. And that is just the way that it is. Do you have some women out there that are stronger than men? Yes, absolutely, you do. However, you have a lot more men out there that are stronger than women because of the way that God designed us, all right? Women are a lot smarter than men. Men are a lot stronger than women. So there you go. What we gain, you make up for in another way. Or what we may lack, you make up for. Our lack is your gain. Our gain is your lack. So, yeah, it's equality right there. You're just stronger in various other areas. So anyway, and by the way, just for all you liberals out there, that does not mean that all women are smarter than men. Believe me. Take a look at Hillary Clinton, for example. She is definitely not smarter than your average male. Matter of fact, I don't think she's smarter than your average. How can I put this without being offensive? Never mind. I'm not going to try. You understand what I'm saying. Than your average knucklehead. But anyway, guys, that's just my take on it. I don't agree with this women and men thing. Oh, I have to serve selective service. I don't like that. I don't like that both of them have to apply. And that's just me. I don't, because you think about it, guys. And I don't mean to be, I'm not going to really get out there and get, vulgar about it, put it that way. But you've got to consider this, okay? When the enemy gets a hold of you, especially a lot of these Arabic enemies that we have, the Muslims over in the Middle East, they treat their women horribly. They're not afraid to rape them with metal rods, as they have done before, cut off their noses, absolutely mutilate their parts of their reproductive system. You understand what I'm saying. And they rape them. And if we would allow women to serve on the front lines, you know that we're going to have some females that are POWs. We have some that are the way that it is. And when they have special information that cannot get out, confidential information that cannot get out, and you have these terrorists that are just doing that stuff to them, it's so absolutely disgusting, and I personally do not want to see women go through that. If I am a sexist, if I'm a male chauvinist because I don't want to see the mistreatment of women, then fine. Call me whatever you want, but that's just the way that I feel. I believe that women should be protected. That's just me.
Caiden Cowger.
Keeping America straight.
Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. 9762.
Caiden Cowger.
Well, now that I have all the
Somebody
feminists
had to
that are
say
angry
it.
over that statement tweeting me and sending me emails and probably getting ready to egg my house. Anyway, I mean, that's just the way I feel. That's the type of, if you take offense to what I said, that just shows how horrible our country has become regarding the culture. Because if you get upset, how dare you say that men should care for women? Okay, whatever. I don't really care. How dare you say that women should be kept safe? All right, sure, whatever. I'm a horrible person. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so that's what we have going on here. How's New Hampshire doing? Okay, New Hampshire's doing good. Anyway, let's see. What else do I have in my stack of stuff here? Oh yeah, Jeb Bush. He was registering second place in the polls yesterday there in New Hampshire. That is absolutely horrible. If he makes a comeback, guys, I'm going to really get upset. Cruz looks to show his national reach. He's going to be doing more of a national campaign there. Let's see what else we have going on here. Oh, yeah. CNN fact checker lies about Ted Cruz. This is the Carson Gate cover-up and that was written by Breitbart. And I just told you. See, you have all these news outlets out there that are just absolutely hammering the mainstream media for this, hammering CNN for this. And while I normally disagree with the mainstream media, and while I normally am not one known to defend the mainstream media, as a matter of fact, I'm known for the exact opposite, I will defend CNN there. CNN didn't do anything wrong, okay? But continuing here, we have another thing that I'll bring up for you. Donald Trump's campaign sign was vandalized. I believe it's over in, I don't know where this was at. Anyway, it's somewhere. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I don't know where this is at. Anyway, Donald Trump's campaign sign had the curse word put on it. It was the F-bomb, ironically. And said that on it. And, yeah, so that's what happened there. Donald Trump supporter Carrie Youngendale arrived home from a Sunday morning church service to a vandalized Trump for President campaign sign in her yard, and the egg splattered across her garage. The message scrawled on the sign read, F-bomb you rear end, put it that way, except the area that waste is deposited. So anyway, Youngdale told ABC News affiliate 10 News that 2016 is the first presidential campaign cycle in 20 years that she has been so passionate about a candidate to put up a yard sign. The Oceanside, California resident was greeted by profane messages, including what I just said. The graffiti was signed by a Mexican. Oh, that's nice. I wonder if that Mexican was here legally. But hey, we're not saying that. Take that back. No, I won't. I don't care. The vandal also drew a smiley face on the sign. The sign had only been up since Thursday, and this story was reported yesterday, so that would be just 5 days, and that happened. The sign had only been up since Thursday, blah, blah, blah. Youngdale seemed to take the Mexican writing on the sign and interpret the motivation for damage to the issue of illegal immigration. And I really don't know how she would report that vandalism because I don't know if you'd go through your local PD or if you'd go through deportation. So, yeah. So that's what happened there. Trump's not all that popular among many illegal immigrants out there. Go figure. I wonder why. So, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And, of course, for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.